All right, guys, happy Monday, December 11th. Yes, Christmas is almost here. Yes, the new year is almost here. Yes, we are in the thick of the holiday season, so we're going to talk about that in a moment. But my hope is that each of you are really reflecting this time of year, doing something special for your friends, for your family, and making sure that you are closing out 2023 really, really strong. Despite the monetary gains that you have or have not had in 2023, there is tons for us to be grateful for in this beautiful year. So I'm going to go to Sierra. Sierra, you've never done this before, so I'm going to put you right on the spot. If you're okay with that, just give me a thumbs up of being on the spot. So Sierra, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field. This just means that you're bringing everybody out on the field for game day. It's a message. It's a statement. That's a thought of gratitude. Whatever it is, the mic is yours. But I want to officially welcome Sierra to the team. She has been waiting for her real estate license to actually be active for the last few weeks, and she is now active. She's one of our newest team members. So Sierra, take the team out on the field on this beautiful Monday morning. Let's go. No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure. So I've been working on community outreach and getting my street speed bumps. In Oakland, we have a real big problem of people speeding. So my street in particular, it's one of the dangers. And, I've been going up to neighbors and it's been great. We've had these long conversations and I've been really connecting with my neighbors. And I've been hearing a lot of the history of the neighborhood and, which houses have sold, what's happened with the houses, and then just people's personal lives. And it's been great. I went to go get a signature last night and I spent an hour with a neighbor that I don't usually talk to. And he told me that the gentleman across the street, who's no longer there, used to have a group where it was 4 of the neighboring streets, and they all used to get together once a month to talk about safety or to just hang out. And he said it was so wonderful. So I am going to try to implement that again.
Cool. I love it. I love it. So sorry, I didn't catch it. What's the message for the group today?
What's the message?
Yeah, I love the action, but I want to know what the message for the group is today.
So I think that the message is that you could be surprised at how much you can gain from giving to others. And this is something that, you forget, especially when you're in the mind of like, I got to survive. And when you shift your mindset to helping others, it's really wonderful. I mean, when you're in, I need to survive, you can't feel like you can help others. But honestly, even when you don't have a lot, you can. And doing things like I did yesterday, connecting with people in my neighborhood, people who maybe don't talk to people all the time, they don't talk to neighbors. It really feels good. And I actually was at another event where instead of me vending, I usually we'll go and I'll sell my ceramics and I'll be a part of the vendors. But instead of doing that, I actually was on the flip side of helping I was helping to clean up and to help people with, their whole process. And it was such a great feeling for me to be on the other side of that. So yeah.
I love this. I love this. And so what I'm hearing you say is that despite what we have, there's always an opportunity to give back to others. And so I love this and I appreciate that. And let's go ahead and get rolling, you guys. A lot of great stuff to talk about. Before I officially get started, there's a couple things that I wanted to share. So first and foremost, let's give a huge, giant round of applause to Chris Barcenas and Sophia Barcenas. Chris's son, Sophia's brother, their team, Folsom Bulldogs, correct me if I'm wrong, took the state championships yesterday or on Saturday. So huge congratulations. And it's not just because of Jalen being a star athlete. He's a stud. He's an amazing athlete. And I promise you this, if he continues up the path that he's on, he's going to end up in the NFL. But so much of his growth comes from his father just feeding positive affirmations into him, positive, his whole entire childhood, right? And probably at times we're like, Dad, like, be quiet. Okay, I get it, right? I'm cooler than that. But subconsciously, all those things that you're going to be the greatest, you're the greatest, nothing standing in your way, like all of those have been in the back of his mind. So Chris, I just want to give you some flowers while you're here. Say congratulations to you. Congratulations to the family. And my man, if you want to talk a little bit about how you're feeling right now with your son and the team's big win over the weekend. Let's hear from you, Chris. And he had no idea that I was going to put him on the spot either.
Man, it was awesome. We're up in LA and It was a nail biter, 2014, and it's just a great experience for Jalen, even though he didn't start because he's a young kid that got moved up, but just being around the greatness and really inspires him, and he's next up. Watch out for Folsom in the next couple of years because they're just getting stronger and getting better players in, and I'm just grateful to be able to experience that with him and just win state, man. It's a big deal. Let's go. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for all the support.
Appreciate you, my man. And for the fact that his son is getting moved up at such a young age, like if you guys ever have an opportunity to go see one of his games, go check it out. The kid is an all-star. He's a superstar, and it's just really great to see how much he's grown. So you guys, let's talk about psychology for a moment. So last week for the last couple of weeks, I had advertised within our environment a team hike. Now, I have a tendency to underestimate the length or the actual mileage of said hike, and I've been known to do that before. I said that Mission Peak was going to be a moderate hike, and then people are up there grinding, and they're like, "This isn't moderate, Elias, and how dare you?" So Liz. So I wanted to just share with you some psychology behind this, and it was not intended, but I felt like I saw some really huge growth from a few people on this hike last week. So when we got there, we're all talking, it's freezing cold in the morning, and then we start our walk, and I was like, hey guys, it's actually 9.5 miles. So I originally thought it was going to be 6, but what's an extra 3.5 miles? But Liz was saying that I'm sure, Ashley, I'm sure Blessing, Liz said if she would have known that it was 9.5 miles, she probably wouldn't have showed up. She had a friend that said, hey, you want to go on a 5-mile hike? She's like, oh, no way, I'm not doing that. But once we were out there, they're like, wait a minute, I can do this. We got halfway. They're like, wait a minute, I'm 9 miles. And by the time we finished, they're like, I feel great. Yeah, I'm a little sore the next day, but I feel great. So they were able to break through whatever personal barriers or personal limitations that they had thought in their mind. And then it went out there and did for their very first hike, a 9.5-mile hike. And so I thought it was really, really powerful, because I think that if they would have known going into it, it was 9.5 miles, a lot of people would have said, no way, no how, Elias, you're on your own, go out there and do it on your own. I promise you. But the fact that they went out there, and Kaleem was there as well, a few other people, Vernon was there, the fact that they didn't really know and they went out there and pushed themselves, now they've given themselves proof, and they've given themselves other people proof. And it goes back to the story of Roger Bannister, right? Before Roger Bannister ran the 4-minute mile, everyone at that time thought that it wasn't capable. It wasn't possible. We were not capable of running that mile in that short amount of time. And in 1 year after he completed the mile at 4 minutes, thousands of people had ran that mile in 4 minutes or less. Why? Because now they realize that it can be done. And so now it's social proof that I can do that based on what that person did. And so I want to go to Ashley. I want to go to Blessing really quick. I just want to hear, and maybe Liz, if you had an opportunity to talk, whoever wants to raise their hand on it, like what happened? I know I'm speaking on behalf of the group, but like, congratulations completing your very first hike. Let's talk about that, because I think that there's some good messaging here. So Ashley, let's hit them with it.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, before the hike, it was definitely daunting. When you told me it was not only a 6-mile hike, it was a 9-mile hike, I was like, I need to go home. What am I even doing here? I honestly, your mind plays these tricks on you. I've never been on a hike, or been on a walk. I've never been on a hike. And in my mind, I don't know, there was mountain lions out there, and I had to be prepared. I stopped at Safeway to go get all these things because I didn't know what I didn't know. And as we're getting like further and further on the inclines, I'm like, my legs hurt, but I can do this. Like, oh, wait a minute, this is all this is. And then I started getting competitive, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on, they're going faster than I am. We need to keep up. And so by the time we were done, Elias was like, I could do this again. And I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? I could do this again today too. So it's definitely, it was an interesting, what I learned for myself was that I'm more scared of what I don't know than I am of the actual thing. So just going out and doing it and saying yes and just getting in there and throwing yourself in there, I think that's the message.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And, you know, she brought everything. She brought like emergency kits for food. She brought a beacon. She brought a flashlight. She brought ice packs. Like she packed like we were going to be camping for 6 days, but she was prepared. It was great. Let's hear blessing, sentiments, thoughts. I just want to get the group going this morning, but talk to me. What was going on internally? What did you overcome, and how'd you feel afterwards?
I now know that if you say that it's 6, I need to add 3 miles, period. Whatever you say, just add extra to it. So I said yes because I am in this phase of saying yes to more things that are outside of my comfort zone. I am notoriously not an outside person. Every single person in my circle knows you can't get me to go camping. I'm just not for it. When I signed up and I said yes, it was like, what do I actually have to lose? I'm going to be surrounded with people who care, who are obviously have done this before. So what do I have to lose? And literally, I couldn't come up with anything. And I recruited Ashley to go with me, so it's at least I had someone to commiserate. When I realized that it was 9, I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to actually turn around and drive back an hour and a half in traffic and just waste the time? It's like, no, just go. And in the middle of it, I actually slipped and I hurt my knee really bad. I'm still kind of struggling with my left leg, but in the middle of it, what am I going to do? Am I going to lay down and now I live at Lake Chabot? It's just all of these things where you just have to push yourself through. And at the end of it, yes, I'm in tremendous pain. My leg hurt. I ended up doing like a HIIT workout in the sauna to try to loosen up. Got my ankle wrapped on the other side, but I know I can do it. And I feel so much stronger and I feel so much more confident in myself because you guys all know I'm super vulnerable and very open and transparent. I've been having a really rough mental health month. So being able to do something of this magnitude is just such a win for me to let me know that everything else going forward can happen. And it literally is just a commitment and an action. And what's the worst thing that can happen? You're not going to die from walking 3 extra miles. You might just need some new shoes, but put yourself out there saying yes and just having fun. And we didn't even complain. It's like, just laugh about the fact that we're on the trail and getting to have great conversation. And it was definitely worth it. I would do it again, not this week, but I would do it again.
I love it. I love it. And then we're going to go really quick over to Liz because I want to make sure to shift gears, but Blessing, I love the message. Ashley, love the message. Liz, Serta, before we head on, I know you had some contributions. What's good?
Yes. Well, my friend had been inviting me to go on, she goes on runs. So she knows I can't run because I have 2 bad knees. Every Saturday she meets her sisters at Lake Chabot and they do 7 miles. And so this time I'm like, oh, okay, well, want to go do some team bonding. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like running late like always. So I grabbed the wrong shoes. I take my winter boots with me and I'm like, okay, we're just going to walk. It's going to be 6 miles. It shouldn't be that bad. And I bring my dog Mercy with me too. And she's not used to doing those long walks either. So we get there and I thought Elias was joking around when he said he made a mistake and it was only going to be 9.5. But then when we go up and we see the sign, I'm like, oh my God, it is 9 miles. Okay. Well, I'm glad I did it though, because, and that Ashley was there because she was like the motherly figure there. And she waited for me and Carla. Kaleem was going to back out. So I'm like, no, Kaleem, you better get over here. He's like, I don't have hiking shoes. I'm like, just get any sneakers on and just make it. You better be here. But anyway, so we all made it. It wasn't even that bad actually afterwards. Like I wasn't even that sore, except my back hurt because I had the wrong shoes. But at the end of the day, it just came to like the limiting beliefs. So it translates over to business as well. You know how, and it has to do with like that book that we're reading. Like you need to set bigger goals and scary goals, challenging goals, but you think you can't do it. And so that's why your goals have to be so big so that you'll reach, you'll break your latest record or whatever, so that you could go above and beyond of what so basically, yeah, like we so we made it. Can translate that to our business. So
that's right.
yeah, thank you.
Guys, Kaleem, I'll come back to you in a couple minutes, my man, because I want to shift gears in the conversation. Let's go deep into this conversation right now about this book. And if you guys aren't reading the book, and if it's your first time being on this call, I want to recommend 10 times or 10. Who was that? Otis, mute yourself, bro. Okay. 10x is easier than 2x. Now, I'll promise you this, it's probably going to be one of the more challenging reads because it makes you get super introspective and the chapters are really, really long. But I promise you, if you don't feel grabbed in just the forward and the introduction, then I don't know what. That book is so good. This book is so good. It like literally grabs you before you even get into a chapter. You're like, if the forward is this good, then I can only imagine what chapter 1's going to be like. But I want to go to Maria. Maria, you and I were DMing, or we just DM'd the other day. You had an epiphany, or you had a moment, and you thought about things that you're doing in business based on what you're reading in the book. And so if you could share with us some of your thoughts of where you're at based on how far into the book you are, because you're like, hold on a second, I got to start rethinking some things. I got to pump the brakes for a minute. And maybe I'm not playing as big as I need to play or want to play or desire to play. And so I want to get your thoughts and your sentiment on the book, where you're at, and if you can share. And if you guys aren't reading the book, please make sure to get the book. It's going to change your life and change your trajectory. So let's go, Maria. I want to hear from you.
Good morning. Good morning. So I am listening to the book. So I had a nice long drive to Monterey. So that's 3 hours. Hello. That's a long time. And so I'm listening to the book and I had to rewind some of the pages because it was literally hitting me in the middle of the forehead. First of all, we generally are told to make bigger goals, work harder, do more. But that's not the way that we should be thinking. So for me, one of my biggest epiphanies, and I might think on the beginning of chapter 4, was like I text Elias, was that we have to work smarter. However, my epiphany was this: I can only go as far as my weakest link. And what if that weakest link is me? I am thinking linearly. Isn't that what he calls it?
Yep.
So I'm thinking if I work harder, I'll achieve it. Because honestly, that's what I have always been taught. Always, always, always. But one of the biggest things besides that I could be the weakest link was that we do too much. I do too much. I am the cold caller, the transaction coordinator, the marketer. I'm doing all these things, but that does not equate to success. And I'm just telling you, as a team, we have virtual assistants available for us. We need to make a list of all the things that we do. And we've talked about this before. Make a list of all that we do, and then get rid of those things that no longer serve you. Like if you don't like to make cold calls, maybe make the initial one, but hand that off to someone who's better at it. Hone in on what we're good at. I'm good at making people feel welcome. I'm good at doing those things. Let me press into that. I'm great at getting on a stage at an impromptu meeting and talk. Let me go there and let someone else handle the paperwork, because I can only go as far as my limiting belief, like Liz just talked about. And if I'm doing all these things, I will never get past those things. I will stay stuck there. And so I was just like, man, I got to go back. And I actually did that this morning. I went back to the intro and kind of took notes, because I have part of it in hard form. And I'm taking notes because it truly is a practice that we need to stop telling ourselves that we need to work harder. No, we need to work smarter. It's about quality versus quantity. Qualitative, I think, is what he says, versus quantitative. And again, we're always talking about how many calls, how many this. But if those calls aren't worth crap, you're doing nothing. And I was like, I got to go back. I got to go back.
You know what? I love how deep you're getting into, because if you're reading that book right now, and please just throw an emoji on the screen if you're reading the book right now, just so I can see who's actually diving in or listening or reading the book. All right, cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. Awesome. Awesome. So if you guys have any contributions, I'll come back to you in a minute. Couple things that I want you guys to really, really think about, 2x versus a 10x. And a 2x means like, it's something that I want to do. I can get there. I know I can see that, right? I believe, and he states this in the book, I believe when you set a 10x goal for yourself, and it is that big and it's scary and it makes people think that you're absolutely crazy, but you say, I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. This is for me. When you allow yourself to think so much bigger than what we're thinking right now, what happens is when I set a 10x goal of making $100 million, or when I say I'm going to launch $100 million coaching company within the next 5 years, do I have to operate differently than I operate right now? Totally. I haven't been there before. I haven't seen that before. And so the things that I have to do, the things that I have to commit to are vastly different than if I was just going to make some marginal growth. So that's when you start to transform the person that you are. And what I love about this book is it talks about transformative growth. When you think about where we're at in life and business, I want you guys to unpack everything that you do in this business and say, what is the 20%? What is the 20%, the thing that I truly, truly enjoy doing? My voice, my identity, speaking with the consumers. What is it that you truly, truly enjoy doing that lights up your soul in this business? And all that other 80% of the stuff that you don't enjoy doing, the marketing, the organization, the tasks, all those things, can I offset those now with virtual assistants within my environment? Or as I grow, can I create a team of people that are allowing me to always focus on the 20% that are going to drive the big picture? What happens is this happens to every single person on this call. All of you get caught up doing a bunch of shit that doesn't serve you, nor do you like doing, right? And I know some of it is necessary, but is it really? Is there people in our world that can do that for you? Is there assistants in your world that you can do that for you? Can Maria, can Ophelia, can Romel, can Blessing, can Annie Mai all share a virtual assistant? Can they all share a virtual assistant? Like, hey, let's unpack all the things that we don't really enjoy doing and let's have them be our admin support. Check this out, you guys. Judith is my rock. When it comes to administrational support, doing all the things on the back end that I know I can do, but I don't want to do, she does all those things for me. You know, Judith's not doing, she's not saying, hey, let me lead the meeting. No, she wants to be my rock in the background, helping support the big vision for the company. So I want you guys to think about this. I'm going to read something directly from the book, and I'm going to share this with you. 10X goals enable you to clearly identify the 20% of things and people in your life that are producing most of the results, and the 80% of things and people in your life that are holding you back. And I want you to get very, very clear on it. There is a ton of things that you guys are doing right now in your life and business that aren't serving that bigger purpose, right? And when you guys think about this down the road, like, I know it's really, really easy to see this immediate, but you guys, if what you're building is 100 deals a year, you know, $1 million in GCI, whatever that looks like for you, you have to start operating different. You have to think different. You have to leverage your time, your effort, your energy, your resources in order to already act as if you are that person. That's a challenge for every single person on this call, but that's how you have to be. You have to be so crazy drawn to that thing that none of this matters right now. None of this matters. You guys, in 10 years from now, your life is going to be vastly different if you allow yourself to take these giant leaps in your business. So what I want you to do is I want you to get clear on the 20% of the things that you truly, truly enjoy in this business. What amplifies your soul? What amplifies your voice? What amplifies your talents? And how can you create systems and machines that allow that always to be front runner, instead of having to go back and work in all the minutia. The minutia is what stops you from growing. And then you say, oh my God, I got to work on this system. Oh my God, I got to do this. Oh my God, I got to do this. And it's just like, I can't even see that vision anymore because I'm down here working in all the minutia. So you guys, I want you to be clear on what that 20% is for you and for your business. How can you amplify your voice? A couple other things I want to share with you is that I think Maria said it perfectly. Are you living exponentially or are you living linearly, right? Are you living exponentially or are you living linearly? Focus on effort or volume, or you're creating something that qualitatively is different and better than anything else out there. How can you position your marketing right now to be any better than anything out there? How can you make videos that stand out amongst everyone else's videos? They're different. They look different. The music's different. The editing's different. You guys, I shared my editing request with Jessica the other day. Jessica, are you here? My editing request for a video is this long, you guys. It is every single detail, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, this, cut this, do this screenshot, because I want to make sure that I have the best product, right? And so it's just like, I'm so focused on making sure I have a product that is quality over the quantity, quality over the quantity. So for the other people that are reading this book on this call right now, who else wants to share some of their thoughts, takeaways, contributions, insights, dialogues, or where your mind is at right now based on what you've read thus far? Let's go, Joe Ellen. Let's go to you. I think that I saw a thumbs up. And whoever else wants to get involved in this conversation, I'll go to Blessing and Kaleem. I'm not forgetting you, my man. I want to make sure to get your thoughts and insights. So let's go, Joe Ellen. We'll go Jessica, and then we'll go Blessing. So let's go, Joe Ellen.
Yeah, so I really love this book. I love how it has us thinking back of how when we already 10x. You know, I'm like, shoot, I 10x when I got my kid through college. I 10x when I made my first 106 figures. I 10x, I've done it. And, you know, it's like, okay, what do I need to do now to like even, you know, go further? But it also has me thinking that it's just like a restaurant. If you think about it, we got the food runners, we got the bussers, we got the bartenders, we got everything. So if you think of it, that concept, like leverage is right? We have to have our call makers, our marketing people. And then we do what the restaurant owner does, right? Big things. So I don't know. I'm just really loving it, and I'm ready to 10x again.
Yeah, think about this, you guys. And I'm so glad that you said that. There's probably a 10x in your life. We've talked about the model of growth in your life. We all have one, right? Think about this in the context of a restaurant. 2 restaurants are launching, you know, on the same street. One restaurant is your average restaurant, table of 5, probably make about $150, you know, give or take. On the opposite side of the street, we're going to enter the market as a fine dining place. Our appetizers are going to be more expensive. Our drinks are going to be more expensive. The quality of the food is going to be better. The taste of the food, the whole experience is going to be elevated. Now, we might not see the mass of consumers, but the qualitative difference means is that when we sit a 4-top, our average 4-top is spending $350 to $450, right? Because it's a different qualitative experience. And so like, it's the same thought when you go into a restaurant. There's so many of you that have been to some fancy ass restaurant, whether it's French Laundry or somewhere else. Like, you've been to a restaurant and you're going there because you're willing to pay for that type of experience. You guys, think about your business. Am I creating an experience that has the highest level of quality, and people work with me because of that high level of quality? Think about that. It's the same exact formula.
Like Michelin service, that's what I'm thinking. It's the quality that I'm giving. And yeah, so it just got me, that was the concept that I could really wrap my mind around.
I love it. I love it. So let's go, Jessica. Let's hear from you. Thoughts, takeaways, insights, contributions from what we're reading right now. And listen, even if you're not reading it, reading the book right now, you're going to hear something that is going to hit for you. I promise you that. Let's go, Jessica.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really sick right now, but I just really wanted to share. So I barely read the intro. I just finished the intro yesterday, and it got me thinking about all of the 10x goals that I've accomplished in the past. For example, like, you know, I was a teen mom. I had my daughter at 15, and I was able to graduate high school with honors, and I went to college and I got my degree. But not only that, like, I opened up a business. It was an online boutique. And then after that, you know, it's like, okay, you know, like, this isn't working out, but I did it, you know, and now I'm in real estate. But then it also got me thinking, like, am I just being too impulsive when I say I want to do these things? Like, I do them, but then it also had me thinking, like, is this just me being impulsive? Like, do I really know, like, what I'm doing? but it just made me think like, okay, well, these are 10x goals that I set for myself, you know, and I'm accomplishing. But not only that, like it also got me thinking about all the things that I want to do in real estate, for example, like cold calling, door knocking, open houses, social media. And I know that I only focus on social media right now, but it just got me thinking about the quality instead of the quantity, you know, because I was so focused on, oh my gosh, I need to do this, I need to do that, blah, 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 that I feel like I'm not even good at all of these things. I mean, I could be if I practice, but I know that I'm pretty good on social media. So that's my 20%.
Cool. I love it. I love it. Good stuff. Let's go, Blessing. Blessing, let's hear from you. And then we're going to shift gears on the conversation.
You know, continuing with what Jessica said, I finished the book. I'm listening to the audiobook. The last line is absolutely a mic drop. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone if you haven't gotten there, but chapter 3 about the clarity and looking at your 10x purpose really just hit hard for me because, you know, just like Jessica said, you know, we have all of these things that we do, especially when we're coming from a place of survival. If we've made a mistake and we're trying to rebound and we want to just, you know, be busy and, you know, add all of these things to our plate. And especially with this business is that there are so many different things that we feel like we have to do, but we do need to also stop and look at the things that were effective for us. So they go into the concept of the gap and the gain. And if we continue to hold ourselves to an ideal, we will drive ourselves crazy. And especially if you're in a place where you're not looking at all of the 10x moments that you had, trying to strive for that ideal will break you. That point like hit me so hard because like you keep filling your calendar, or I keep filling my calendar with all of these things that I need to do that are going to get me there. But I need to stop and actually look at all of those things that were actually intrinsic to me, that were unique to me, that got me to where I am. Yes, we need to become a different version of ourselves to reach the higher level goals. But being an entrepreneur and being, you know, just content with where we are means that you're betting on yourself and that you know and you truly believe that you can accomplish all of the goals and enjoy everything, whether you hit them or not, or if you sit still, like you can still enjoy life. And the point specifically that entrepreneurship is betting on yourself, and I just lost the words for it. Betting on yourself and appreciating yourself and trusting who you are. That's really the principle of everything that you want to do. And if you don't trust yourself to do it, you're never going to hit those goals. So really being present and celebrating the things that we do, especially if you're an A-type person or an overachiever, we tend to say, yes, close that deal, moving on to the next one. If you don't ingrain in yourself that this is a win, you're going to dismiss it and be constantly in the gap, which is where things just fall apart and get a lot harder. So my biggest takeaway was really the quality of the moments and celebrating them and really understanding you did that. Like you accomplished that. And it's okay to gloat, boast, whatever you want to call it. It's okay to celebrate yourself and keep going.
You guys, listen, obviously this book has hit a nerve with a lot of us. I want to make sure that if you're not reading it, read it. If you're not reading it, listen to it. It's just really profound. And then you guys can download the workbook. We're going to start doing some of the exercises and worksheets, that they have in the book. And I'll start sharing those with you guys next week. But one of the things that they said is your identity is the story you believe about yourself and the standards you hold for yourself. I want you to sit with that for a minute. Because you guys have heard this before, you may not always hit your goals, right? But you'll always hit your standards, right? And if your standards are a standard of constantly letting yourself down, not following through, starting projects and then stopping projects, like what standards are you holding yourself to, right? Like you have to make sure that when you wrap up this identity, that the things that you're doing match how you actually feel about yourself. Oftentimes people want to show up and they want to say all these great things, but behind the scenes, they're not living that. And I want to make sure that there's some congruency and make sure that you guys have an identity that is in alignment with who you are as a person. The actions that you're doing, the things that you're doing in the business, you actually believe these things. And when you say something on this call or on social or wherever you are, that you actually believe that shit. Don't live in this falseness of, oh, I'm this great person, but I'm really, really not. Like, you guys got to make sure that your identity is wrapped in of the standards you hold for yourself. Like, those standards need to be so high for yourself, because if you're a mom, if you're a dad, we have the highest standards for our children, but sometimes we diminish our own standards for whatever reason. I don't know why. We have to make sure that those standards for ourselves are very, very clear. So you guys, we're going into, holiday season. You guys have tons of opportunities, and some of you have been following through on the 12 days of Christmas and 12 days of December. So shout out to you guys. But I want to know right now, it is Monday. It is December 11th. What are you working on this week that is going to move your needle forward? Very, very simple. I don't need to hear a whole long list of a bunch of stuff. And I want it to be clear, concise, what you're actually working on this week that is going to move your needle forward. Is it, hey, I'm going to post 5 videos. I'm going to do this. I'm hosting an event. I'm taking kids or I'm hosting a Santa event. Like, what is moving your needle this week? I'm going to Mexico and I'm going to change my life and I'm going to change other people's lives. That's what I'm doing this week. I'm going to co-host an event in Mexico and I'm going to have a transformative experience with the people in that room. That's what I'm doing this week. That's what's going to move my needle. That's what's going to move my wife's needle. And that's what's going to move the people that are in our Play Bigger atmosphere. That's what I'm doing this week. I have no question around it. I have my notes, my thought tracks. I already know what I'm doing. I got the music set up, but I'm also here present with my team and accomplishing the things that I need to accomplish before that's what I'm doing this week. What are you guys doing to move your needle in your business? Who wants to go first? I need 5 hands up. You guys, we're going to go rapid fire on this. What are you doing this week to move your needle? Let's go Cortez. Let's go Joellen. And listen, you guys, Jessica keeps throwing her hand up and she's sick. She didn't even feel good. So get involved in this conversation. Throw your hand up. I want to know what you're committed to accomplishing this week that's going to move the needle in your business. Let's go Cortez. Cortez going once. Cortez going twice.
All right.
Let's go, big dog.
Mic check. Hey, what's up? So what I'm doing this week is I have an event this weekend. Saturday, we're giving away the toys at the toy drive that we've been driving. I partnered up with a few businesses in Vallejo, so I got the barrels out. We've been collecting toys. Vallejo's been showing out for that. Friday night, we're having a party before the toy drive. We're going to kind of like sip on something, decorate the room, get it all ready for the party the next day, and sort all the toys out and do all that. So it's going to be a community event. We're going to get to know a lot of people. A lot of people signed up through Eventbrite. So that's what I'm doing this week.
So Cortez, let me ask you a question. With all the people that you're going to meet at this event, how can you blow up your social media through the event?
Post it.
No, not just you. I want everyone posting and tagging you. Right? Okay. Hey, you gonna take a picture? Hey, let's grab a picture. Hey, can you do me a favor? Tag me. That needs to be the fluid conversation throughout. Have everyone blow up your social media. Your stories should look line after line after line after line after line. Blow your social media up.
Got it.
Love it, bro. Love it. Let's go to Maria. Maria, what's good? What are you committed to accomplishing this week that's going to move your needle in your life and business? Let's go.
Joellen and I are doing Grinchmas this Saturday at our Sacramento office. That's number 1. And number 2, my weekly holiday newsletter is going out. I'm gonna work on the high note today to update the activities of what's going on in the Sacramento region for the Christmas.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I love that. And is that part of the 11 days or 12 days of December challenge, or you're just doing that on your own?
No. Doing that on my own. I found it. Thank you. Shout out to Sophia. She made it super simple. She walked alongside me to do the high note. So now I'm like, oh my God, this is so easy. So I'm just taking some things out and putting new ones in. Oh, also, within my community of Timberlake condos, we are going to look at the lights in East Sacramento. So I'm building my community here too. So I'm super excited.
Man, I went and saw those lights last night. Like, just to drive or walk It is such a cool experience and it is such great content. God, it's such great content. So I love it, Maria. Let's go to, I think it was Jessica, and then I'll get to everyone's hands. And you guys get involved in the conversation, because I feel like when you declare it, when you commit to it, now you have an army of WTF soldiers that'll be like, yo, what's up, Sierra? You said that you were going to do this and I didn't see you do shit this week. What's going on? We're here for you. Let's have you guys be WTF warriors and soldiers. Let's go, Jessica. Let's go, Joellen. Let's go. I'll just get to everybody. Let's go, Jessica.
What I'm gonna do this week is show up, because these past few weeks I've been attending the calls with my camera off and I've been in like this weird funk. So my goal is to just show up and contribute. I'm also gonna post 5 reels, and I had something else, but I forgot. I forgot.
Listen,
Well,
the fact that you're
what I
sick,
would do.
the fact that you're sick and you're still showing up, it says a lot about your character.
Thank you.
And feel better. If you need anything, let us know. Let's go, Joelle, and then let's go. Maria, can you put your hand down so I don't get lost? And Cortez, put your hand down as well. Thank you, Joelle. Let's go.
Feel better, Jessica, and I love all your videos. Yeah, so this week I have 2 charity fundraisers that I'm doing for CASA, one with Maria and then one on my own in 2 different towns. I also have a listing going live. I'm also finishing helping my sellers move out today. And I also got a listing appointment for a commercial assisted living community that they want to sell in El Dorado Hills. So, yeah.
I love this. I love this. And you know, Joellen, I'm glad that you gave flowers to Jessica, because this goes back to the qualitative versus quantitative. The fact that you're posting a lot of content, it's one thing, but what you're doing is that you have a high level of quality in your videos. And I'm sure you're meeting people, Jessica, and they're saying, wait, you're new? Wait, it doesn't feel like you're new based on the quality of videos that you're creating. And I absolutely love that. Joellen, the fact that you have this much momentum and it is in direct alignment with your core focus of what you sought out to do less than 2 years ago, like you have been in the state of like, I'm going to create something big in my purpose and I'm going to walk in that. And you've been doing that ever since, and you never waver from it. You always talk about it. It's always front of mind. And it's always something that is pulling you forward. It's like you have a true mission in this business, and you guys, it's come full circle for Joellen. So I love it. Let's go, Aaron. Chris, I want to hear from you, big dog. And Aaron was at the team hike as well. We had a great time out there. So Aaron, what's good, my man? What are you committed to accomplishing this week that's going to move your needle in your business?
Well, this week is actually my 15th wedding anniversary. And so I am taking this time to celebrate my wife, but also to incorporate her in my business and to do this as a team. That family business plan that you provided to us, you know, when we did that workshop, I still have it. And so we're going to take some time during this vacation to go over that together. And so I feel like incorporating her into the business, instead of saying, okay, the kids are getting old enough, you can go out and try to find a job. We're going to do this together. And I feel like that is, and it's weird because I haven't even started reading the 10X. I got the audiobook. I haven't started listening to it, but I did pick up stuff that you were saying. And it's like, it's weird because it seems meant to be that I'm spreading the love. This business is not just me; it's all of us now. And so so that's what I'm committed to doing. Is we have a whole itinerary that is not all spa days and gambling. It's also including some of what I do from the business standpoint, and then also I'm going to see if we can get her into real estate too and get that license, at least just to help me on the back end and do that kind of stuff. So that's what my plan is.
I love how the path you're taking this, because we're all doing a lot of work right now, or you should be doing a lot of work, planning out your year, looking at your financials, looking at your goals, looking at your activity, all of those stuff. Like that's something that we should be doing with our family. Like, where do I want to be 1 year from now? What do we want to have in our savings? What type of experiences do we want to have this year as a couple and as a family? And if my wife and I were able to do, let's say, 50 different experiences throughout the year, I'm not saying every single one of them has to be a lot of money, but what does that do for our bond? And how close does that bring us? And if we are closer, how does that impact the children? What type of example are we setting for them about love and relationships and communication and fun? And although we bicker good. Like, what does that set for them? And so if you are in a relationship, I'm probably going to be throwing a small little mastermind at my house. It's going to be called Real Estate Relationships and Records. We're going to come together and we're just going to sit up here in my jam room. We're going to talk about our life goals, our business goals, our relationship goals. We're going to listen to some music and we're going to have some fun. So it's going to be a very, very small mastermind, probably 15 to 20 people at max or couples, but we're going to do that. So Aaron, I appreciate that sentiment. Let's go Demian. Let's hear from you, big dog. And then we'll go Lisa, then we'll go Blessing, then we'll go Liz, and then we'll come full circle in the conversation. Demian, what are you committed to accomplishing this week that's going to move your needle?
Good morning. Good morning. This week on Wednesday is the
Hey, Demian, it's a little hard to hear you, big dog.
Oh, let me turn
a little
up on
closer.
you. There we
All right,
go.
there
Am
we
I
go.
turned up? Oh, okay, my bad. This Wednesday
Yes,
is the
Demian, I know what you're going to say is going to be so good. Let's check your audio. I don't know if you need to disconnect from your car audio, but it's not serving us justice right now, bro. So I'll come back to you in a second. Let's get that worked out. Lisa, let's go to you, Blessing, and then Liz.
Hey guys, I am sorry I missed the hike. I wish I could have made it. But I really like the messaging of the 10X. I used to listen to Darren Hardy quite a bit, and he would always talk about the big, hairy, audacious goals. And that's like right in line with this. And I had lunch with a colleague on Friday, and he made me realize like how well I know Sacramento. Like I took him on a tour, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, there's like so many great little areas and nooks and crannies and restaurants that you know of. Like, why are you not highlighting this in whether it's a newsletter or your videos?" So I came up with a plan to put out a newsletter and incorporate some of the small businesses, some of my friends around town, and maybe do like a coupon or something to highlight the business and get more information out about things in Sacramento.
I love it. I love it. We've talked about this before, being that mayor, being that digital mayor, going all in on your community. Right now, you guys, I just saw a different side of Sacramento because obviously I don't live in Sacramento, but I went and spent some time in your city yesterday. And what a cool city, like the Old Town Sac and then the Fab 40 and like, you know, the tree lined streets and like all season, like it's like beautiful. Beautiful. I just saw a different side of it yesterday. And I think like that makes for really, really good content. There's some amazing restaurants. There's all kinds of great music in your city. So I'm with that type of content. So good stuff. Let's go Demian. Demian, I guess Cortez could hear you good. So maybe it's just on my end. So Demian, let's go back to you and thank you for your contributions, Lisa. Let's go back over to you, Demian.
All right, how about now? We good?
Perfect.
All right. All right, this Wednesday is the 12th consecutive month volunteering at the Alameda County Community Food Bank, which is a pretty big pat on the back for myself just for staying consistent. And whether it was me or one other person or two other people, which it has been a lot of the months, is very gratifying to give something back. Without really any expectation of receiving anything in return other than that gratifying feeling, and just doing something good for the community. And I mean, at the same time, I do get something back because it is a accomplishment of consistency. So that's a whole year's worth of giving time back to a worthy cause, and that vision is completed in a way on Wednesday, and I'm going to continue it into the new year and just keep going every month. And I'm going to be that guy that at least, if nothing else, gives this one section of my time back every month. So I just dropped the link in the chat. Please sign up if you guys have time to give a couple hours to the cause. And besides that, just keep hacking away at Real Scout and these people that show interest in some houses. That's how I'm moving the needle forward this week.
Let me ask you, Demian, because you've been able to move your needle in a big way on social since kind of recommitting to the process, right? I wouldn't say that you're recommitting totally to like business, because you've always been in this business and you enjoy it. But since like you've been recommitted to video, all right, let's just talk about that. How many videos have you created in the last 60 days?
Oh, created in the last 60 days, at least 60 videos.
I mean,
they're not all posted because I have like 15 in the queue, but yeah, I've created at least 60 videos, and I've really been enjoying that part of it, and been getting more feedback than anything than my just solds, which I don't have a lot of this year, but I didn't get a lot of engagement from people seeing the business that I was doing. I'm getting way more engagement now from talking to people and actually being a person. So that part feels really good, and that people are knowing what I do now. They're connecting the dots now. So that's definitely positive trajectory.
I love it. Let's go Blessing, and then let's go over to let me see if I can get to everybody. Blessing, what are you committed to creating this week that's going to move the needle in your business?
So I have my first community event on Saturday in the Brentwood office with Ashley. We are doing a free gift wrapping event for the community. So in order to make sure that everyone in the Brentwood area knows, I'm actually planning on door knocking Tuesday and Wednesday, like the 200 homes in the community, and then passing out flyers to the business. I posted it with my basketball league. I got the clearance to post it with my basketball league yesterday, so that post will go in our band. And I'm sending out text messages to any of my clients that are local. But there's also a makers fair in downtown Brentwood, steps from our office, that I want to make sure that we are visible, so that once they buy the gift, they can just come in. And it truly is to say thank you. We'll have a photographer there to do any family photos, truly for the last minute shopper, which is always me, so trying to pay it forward. And we're going to do a contact capture at that point for like newsletters or any other community events. I'm really good with like the networking and pulling people together. Like that's truly what I enjoy the most. So I'm going to lean into more community events, and then weave in real estate, kind of going like the back rope with it. But it's my strength of just making people feel welcome and saying thank you. So that's what I want to lean into and really drive forward this week.
Love it. I love this. Love it. All right, Liz, let's go to you. One last contribution. Liz, let's go to you. Rapid fire. What are you committed to accomplishing this week that's going to move the needle in your business?
I'm going to be doing some pop-bys. So I'm going to be dropping off gifts to my past clients around the Bay Area and in the surrounding areas. And I'm also going to do some door knocking with Kaleem, because we're going to be doing our Alameda County food drive out here in Dublin. So that's what we're going to be doing. And Jessica, hope you feel better. And Joe Ellen, I want to be like you when I grow up.
All right, guys, I love it. I'm going to pause there for a second. I just wanted to give you another book recommendation. I plugged it into the chat down below. Now, this is something that you're going to want to read, maybe in congruency with what you're doing right now. They talked a lot about Viktor Frankl in the book that I'm reading, and just kind of diving into his story and what he went through and how he was able to constantly see the bigger picture for his life, despite what he went through. His wife was killed the very first day when they got to the concentration camp and separated from him. And like the fact that he was able to pull himself through it, it is an amazing, touching story. So when you guys have the ability to do so, read that, put that in your flow. And it's called The Man's Search for Meaning. And it's a really, really powerful read. And it's a really powerful, powerful story. Just been kind of going down the rabbit hole. Anytime I'm reading a book, I always look at reference point, people that they mention, and I start reading about those people as well, because I'm crazy like that and want to know as much as I possibly can. So let's do this, you guys, before we close out. Randy Poon, it's one of your first times at a Keep It Moving group coaching. Just want to hear from you. Key takeaways from our time together today, big dog.
Hey, everyone. I want to say, I guess everything was inspirational. So I mean, definitely still learning, doing my 30-day checklist on that. But yeah, I'm just excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, it's nice to have you. Thanks for being here. Let's go, Romel Taylor. I have to say, my man, as much as a Cowboys fan I am not, Congratulations. You guys showed out in a big way yesterday, and what a win for you guys. But Romel, key takeaways from our time together today.
Go Niners.
I still love
Go
y'all. I
Niners.
still love it. Actually, that's kind of what's been on my mind. It's really not how you start, it's how you finish. And keep doing the grind, keep doing the workout, keep doing the practices. And whether you win or lose, you're holding yourself to a high standard. So it's very reflective of me. I want to hold myself to my standards even when I miss my goals. So that's what I'm going to be doing this week.
God, I love it. Remember that your identity is the story you believe about yourself and the standards you hold for yourself. I thought that was one of the most powerful things that I've read. So you guys, this week for Wednesday and Friday, we will not have Keep It Moving because I'm going to be traveling, and with the time difference and all of that, it just doesn't make sense. However, my goal is this: when I go to this event, every time I go to an event, I come back fired up. Now, I'm pretty fired up as a person, but there's going to be even more clarity on the road ahead. And so I'm looking forward to pouring back into you guys, taking all the things that I learned from that group, and my intent is to bring back even more stuff for you guys so we can make sure that 2024 and beyond, we have this vision and this clarity and this pull and this drive and this 10X that we're creating for our life. Don't play small, you guys. I'm not playing small. I'm making stickers that say 100M, and that means $100 million. I'm going to create $100 million coaching company within the next 5 years. And I'm saying it now, and I'm saying it proudly because I know where I'm going in this life. I know what I'm creating, and I know who I have to become. I know the things that I have to do to not play small in this business. So I'm going to take shit to the next level. And I want all of us to rise and look back at our lives and be like, look at the stability that I've created for my family. Look at the stability I've created for my mom. I was able to buy her house. I was able to do this. I was able to not ever have to worry about money again. And now I have freedom. I have true freedom because I've been able to create something that was way bigger than what I ever imagined. That's what I want for all of you guys. So thank you for your time today. As always, you guys keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and just crush your week and move your needle. Peace.